In late October 2017, I took a detour through North Yorkshire during a solo road trip across the UK. I'd been staying in small villages, taking photos for a personal travel blog. That night, I was headed to Whitby, but torrential rain forced me to pull off the road near the village of Danby. My phone had no signal, GPS failed, and in the downpour, I spotted a stone cottage with flickering lights inside. I knocked, no answer, but the door creaked open on its own. Inside was dry, quiet, warm, old fireplace still smoldering. Against better judgment, I stepped in. The interior was strangely preserved, not abandoned, not lived in. Lace curtains, vintage furniture, and dozens of clocks, all stopped at 2:17. Every one. A framed photo sat on the mantel, a family in 1940s clothing. None of them smiled. I called out. Nothing. My clothes were soaked and the storm was deafening. I decided to rest in the sitting room. The second I sat down, a whisper cut through the storm. Clear, close. You shouldn't be here. I leapt up, flashlight in hand, scanning the room. No one. I checked upstairs, dusty rooms, unused beds, closets filled with yellowed children's clothes. But in the hallway mirror, I saw movement. Someone, no, something, behind me on the stairs. But when I turned, only shadows. Then the clocks ticked once. All at once. Just one tick. In the kitchen, I found an old newspaper, dated 1951. The front page headline read, "Local family perishes in storm, lightning destroys Danby home." The photo, the same family from the frame. The same house, same windows, same fireplace. Lightning struck. The lights flickered. The rain pounded louder than ever. And upstairs, the sound of footsteps. Slow, deliberate. I called out, "Hello?" Something responded. Not. I fled toward the front door. It wouldn't budge. Windows locked from inside. But behind the kitchen, I found a door to a cellar, previously hidden behind a pantry shelf. Against my better judgment, I opened it. Stale, wet air surged up. I descended with my phone light. The walls were lined with old photos. Family portraits, each more twisted than the last. Eyes scratched out, smiles carved into faces. At the far end, a shrine of dolls. Wet dolls. One moved. I ran upstairs. Water now leaked from the ceiling. The air was electric. Every clock ticked again. A woman's voice screamed from the stairwell. "Get out while you can." I saw her, the mother from the photo, standing near the window. Her face was burned, clothes blackened. She pointed toward the wall. Behind a curtain, an exit door I hadn't noticed before, rusted shut. I smashed it open with a chair and burst into the storm. I ran through the rain until I hit the road. A lorry driver stopped. I screamed and pointed back. But the house was gone. Just trees. No path. No building. I later searched Danby's records. There was a fire in 1951. No survivors. The house had never been rebuilt. Locals say travelers still hear clocks ticking and see lights deep in the woods when it rains. I still have the photo. It was in my coat pocket. The family no longer looks the same. They're smiling now. In November 2016, Olivia Hayes, a 32-year-old writer from Manchester, rented a remote stone cottage near the village of Haworth in West Yorkshire. She needed isolation, space to finish her novel, and found the listing through a niche property rental site. The listing warned of unreliable electricity and no Wi-Fi, but she welcomed the silence. Her first night welcomed her with a thunderstorm. Olivia arrived just before dark. The cottage was charming in a Gothic way, ivy climbing up the walls, a sagging roof, and thick, wooden doors that creaked when opened. She set down her bags and lit the fireplace. At exactly 10:12 p.m., the power flickered. Then the lights went out. No big deal. She had candles. But just as she was lighting one, she heard a knock on the door. She peered through the peephole, but rain distorted the view. No one appeared to be there. Still, the knock came again. She opened the door cautiously. Nothing. Just the storm. But something felt off. Wet footprints, small ones, led from the door into the hallway. She hadn't walked there yet. She closed the door, locking it tightly. As she turned to head upstairs, she heard what sounded like a child's giggle echo faintly from behind the stairwell. She searched every room, nothing. She tried to sleep. At 3:03 a.m., she woke to a whispering sound. Not the wind. It came from downstairs. Faint at first, then louder, as if someone was pacing the floor below her room, whispering incoherent words. She held her phone up for light and crept down the stairs. Nothing. But on the wall above the fireplace, written in the condensation from the storm, was a single word: listen. The next morning, Olivia drove into the village to ask about the cottage. A woman at the bakery recognized the address. "That place used to belong to the Wren family," she said. "Terrible business. Their daughter vanished one night. Rainy night, 1893. Vanished? More like, swallowed. People say she still walks that house during storms." That night, the rain returned, heavier than before. Olivia stayed up, typing. At midnight, the fireplace roared to life on its own. The flames danced high, unnaturally so. Then she heard knocking, this time from beneath her. The wooden floor had a trapdoor. She pried it open. A basement. She descended with a lantern. At the bottom, an old child's dress, a rotted wooden rocking horse, and scratch marks on the stone wall. A sudden whisper behind her, "You're not her." She turned, nothing. Olivia researched further. The girl, Margaret Wren, was 9 when she disappeared. Witnesses said the house ate her during a storm. Local legend claimed the girl never left, cursed to haunt the home during nights like the one she vanished. Olivia pieced it together. Every 23rd of November, during a thunderstorm, the spirit appeared. And tonight was the 23rd. That night, Olivia heard music, a faint music box melody playing from the basement. When she approached, the trapdoor slammed shut above her. She screamed, but no one heard. The rain drowned her cries. In the shadows, she saw the child's form, pale, soaked, her eyes black. "Stay," the girl said. "I need a friend." Olivia's voice stopped working. Her limbs locked. And then, darkness. Weeks later, hikers found the cottage abandoned. Olivia was gone. But her manuscript sat neatly on the table, pages soaked, ink running. On the final page, "I hear her in the rain. I see her in my sleep. She's me now." The cottage remains empty to this day. But locals say during heavy storms, if you walk by, you can hear a woman crying, and a child laughing.